how to draw your own sneakers in 3 steps. So the first steps being drawing, second cleaning your lines, and the third one we are going to render using AI, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So for this phase 1 for drawing, I'm going to show you my different personal techniques. So as you can see here, I'm drawing what we call the shoe last. The shoe last being the standard shape of a foot that is going to give you very easily and very fast the proportion and also the main form of your design. So as you can see, I have also left some space below the shoe last to draw the outsole. So I decided to do a design that is more advanced, more intricate for the outsole, and for the upper, which is the form of the shoe, which is going to be more simplified, I would say, in contrast. However, I will try to get some harmony between the upper and also the outsole itself. So I will try to get some harmony as a whole for the shoe design. As you can see, we came up with already this main shape pretty fast. And drawing the right shoe last from beginning is actually very important for the rest, because if your shoe last is going wrong, even though your design can be cool, something will feel awkward at the end. So make sure that you study well your shoe last design, and then you can add your design on it. So now I'm already starting to draw the design of the upper. And as you can see, I try to have some good sense of balance on the design, and trying to play around with a lot of freedom. For this design, it's not something that I have thought much in advance. I'm just creating along the way, just with some feeling and exploration. It's actually pretty relaxing, and I invite you to try to doodle along the way, to try multiple design. It's quite fun, because we have already crossed the most difficult part, which was the proportion of the shoe, and now it's kind of freedom on the design of the sneakers. So I invite you to use a ghost drawing. As you can see, the cursor, I oftentimes try to visualize first. I simulate the movement first, trying to better visualize in my mind the shape of it. So this is something I invite you to practice before drawing the lines. So now I have already the main elements. I have the quarter, I have the lace, I have the tongue as well, and I'm getting more into details. As you can see, the logic from the main principle when you draw is always to go from general forms to the details. Oh, by the way, I also created a book for beginners, for you guys to get started to draw your first design of sneakers. So I leave the link to these books, which is available for free, in the description. So feel free to get it. You just need to leave your email and I will send it to you in 1 minute. Alright, so let's carry on. So the design is getting more and more interesting. I like to compare sketching with sculpting. Let's say you want to sculpt something with clay, you will start with the general shape, and then after you will mold along the way, getting more intricate, and then after you go into the details, into the grooves, into the textures. This is how you want to think about sketching. You need to have the overall vision first, and then after you go more and more into the smallest part. All right. So the more you will acquire the skills of drawing a good shoe last, once again, the easier it will get for later, because you will get more and more inspired. If you have good proportion, your brain will somehow open more flow to ideas. You won't be blurred or annoyed by having the wrong proportion, feeling something is going wrong with my sneakers, something is going wrong with my design. Well, actually, it's just a matter of proportion and not about your ideas. So get the proportion first right, and then after you can give all your chances of your form and design expressions to give your best for your creation. All right, so that's how it's going to be more fun. Don't get too much frustrated at the beginning. If you might want to work on your shoe last first. That is what is going to to help you do better design very fast if you can master this step. So think of something that is very sensual, very organic for your design when you draw the shoe last. And then after all, when you draw your design of the shoe, feel free also to have some picture of references if you want to. So you will learn more about the different pieces of the shoe, about the vocabulary, about how different designers create a different expression of design within their lines. And then you will mix and match everything and you will create your own style, okay? So I will give you also this drawing as download if you want to as reference. And now I'm pretty happy about this. So it's time to do the cleaning of the lines. Usually when I draw, I like to leave most of my lines. I very seldom erase my sketches. But for here, since we want to use AI render later on, it's really necessary to clean your drawings. If you want the AI to really understand your design. As otherwise, you will get pretty much confused if you leave all your construction line, or your iteration lines, or the invisible lines that you try to draw even lighter. So you try to clean everything to just leave a drawing which is basically quite white and dark black for the lines, if possible. So now I'm doing a stitch. So basically the trick I did is to draw the lines and then I use an eraser to create the space. So this is what we got right here. So for cleaning the drawing, basically, it's pretty simple. You just need to use your eraser and clean everything. So you save your drawings and then let's go for the render. Alright, so today we are going to use Newarc.ai to render our shoe. Let's have a quick preview on the home page. So you add a sketch of your own and then you will generate some ideas with different colors, different textures. You can have dress, fashion, footwear, bags, and so on. So once again, like we add a line art. So we remove all the unnecessary lines to make sure that your sketch is clear. For the second step, you add the prompts from what you have, what your drawing is about, and what you want to get. And then you generate your ideas in quite few seconds, like less than a minute. And so can apply in fashion, footwear, cars, architectures, and so on. So let's start right here. I log in. Then I create a project. Let's call it Sneaker AI Render. All right. So this is where you upload your pictures. This is the prompt, the number of images that you want to try. Let's put 4 right here. Okay, so I make sure I have the right drawings, which is already clean. Then I have a suggestion of prompts. I pretty like to start with it to see how it goes. So I accept the suggestion. It's up to me after to modify it, but let's try with it first. And then creativity level from accurate to creative is basically how relevant to your initial sketch you want it to be, how much you want it to follow your lines. So anyway, I leave it like this by default and I generate. Here we go. So you have to wait for maybe about 15 seconds on my side to get this. Here we go. So you have some different proposal of colors as well. So you got this one. This one, I'm not really fan of the mesh right here, but I really like the outsole though. So then from here you can carry on with one of the sketch. You can save like the version that you like, or keep going and trying to modify the prompts. So let's see that I want it without mesh. All leather, no, just mesh only for the lining and leather upper. Let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting a bit too fast. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, about 11 seconds. So you got this, you got that one. Still have some mesh for the upper, so I may have to switch the prompt a bit. That one is pretty cool. Let's try to get it without mention on the mesh, or just saying that there is no mesh material and leather upper. Let's make it a bit more accurate to my drawing to see what he says, what he come up with. Don't forget to scroll up so you can see the different proposal, otherwise you'll be wait here. And I do add an affiliate link also if you want to join Newarc.ai. If you want to join, you can use it. Feel free to use a link that I add in the description. That also looks really cool right here. Wow, it's pretty organic, experimental. This one, the switch, less well done. And now let's see which is more creative. Let's put it up creative to the max. So it's a lot of trial and error to trying to discover about what you want. And it's pretty cool to have an accurate sketch about what you have in mind, so you can start with something that is more close to what you want. So make sure that you clean well your drawings before uploading here is much better. Okay, so when I put something more creative, is actually relate to I believe it relates to existing design of Nike shoe, though I'm not really satisfied on this because it becomes a lot more classic, I would say. So I can lower down the creativity to number 7. What's really pretty cool is like AI is mixing a lot of inspirations and interpreting your prompts, and your drawing is like mixing everything in the shaker and come up with some new ideas very fast. That one is pretty more interesting because I see that the outsole is a lot more fun right here. The switch is not always well applied, huh? Right. This is pretty interesting as well. Let's put less balance. Let's put it like with Star Wars inspired when I go crazy. I remember when I used to render shoes on Photoshop, it took me hours and hours to come up with one proposals with the shadow, with the textures. I have to find textures to import it to create a lot of mask. But it's true that you have a lot more control on Photoshop. But this tool of AI can help you to come up with more ideas super fast. So it's really nice to input it in your toolbox. Ooh, that's pretty interesting right here. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, I can bookmark the one that I like. Let's bookmark. Right. So you can also have some, let's say, another one that I like. This one was pretty cool. Okay, let's say this one. If you want to have a higher resolution of your render, you can use Upscale, and it's going to create a much more high quality. Like let's say if you want to print it in a presentation board, it will be much more easy to see. It will have a much more definition when you're going to print it in a bigger size. You have a button here for generate 4 more. If you want to have more proposals, like let's say for this series, I generate here 4 more. This one is ready. Yes, no, yes, no. Yeah. So it's basically it's going to have a higher definition for you guys to use. Then the 4 more that I have just generated. Here, just below. Okay. This is cool, but the switch is not well understood. I should have made maybe something to clarify the switch from the sketch. How about I want it to have a cartoon style render. So it's quite fun to discover all the different proposals super fast. Then let's add it a bit more here. Cartoon style render doesn't have much cartoon style though. Okay. Leather upper, white and pink. Let's put it ninja inspired for fun. Here we go. Let's wait a bit. Oh, what is this? All right, that's pretty cool. But really the switch, I have some issue with it. There we go. More accurate to the drawings to see what I'm going to get. It has been like 10 minutes and I already have plenty of proposals. Oh, that one is pretty nice. It's not perfect, but you have something overall, something interesting. All right, so I really leave you to discover this tool. I find it pretty cool. And it just takes you a few minutes to get used to it because it's so straightforward. Okay, so have fun with Newarc.ai and see you for the next tutorial. And I invite you to carry on with the following of this video because I just added the real time of the sketching of the sneaker itself. So see you.